7:6 Bhagavad Gita. Mata paratar nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam prukte sutramani ganaiva. No one is superior to me. Krishna is superior. Absolute truth. No one is equal to him. How can you say? No one is superior to him. Everyone is subordinate. Krishna is superior. Then Krishna is Guru. No. Above Krishna, another tattva is there. He is Guru. Love of Radha. Radharani's love. Although Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna controlled by love. Love have power to control Krishna. Whose love? Radharani's love. Radhikar preme guru ami sisya nata. Radharani, in love, Radharani is my guru. Radha's love controlling me. Oh, who is supreme controller, who is controlling everyone. Living beings, non-living beings, demigods, is controlled by love. Therefore, who is this Guru Tattva means this Radharani is Guru. So Radharani means Radharani's love is Guru. Radharani's love and Radharani is non-different. That is Guru. That is heavy. So that love descend through parampara systems. This is Guru Tattva. And this is not speculation. You can see from Tattva. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Gurvastakam. Nikunja yuna ratikili siddhi yayali bhi yukti raprekhyaniya. They are descent from the spiritual world. By their will, sometimes they see the conditions of this, how can I say, the fallen conditioned souls. Out of compassionate, they are approaching Radharani, Krishna. No, I have to go, I have to preach. You can see in case of Prabhupada, he was not sleeping. 70 years. Everyone wants retired life. 70 years. We are 50, 53, 54, 55. We want retired life. But he was always hankering, how to preach, how to preach, how to preach. No, this is natural tendency of associates, because they came for this purpose. Either Krishna, sometimes Krishna sent them, or they came according to their, by their own desire to help conditioned souls. So Guru, this Guru Tattva is Radharani's Tattva. Radharani is Guru. Radhikar Preme Guru. In CC you can find it. CC Adil 4th chapter, 123. This reference is there. But this Guru Tattva, Radharani's mercy potency, there is in Guru the two potencies there. Then how to descend? We'll hear more after. But first we have to understand what is Guru. Then Radharani's, what is the nature of Radharani's prem? You know, nature of lust, always hankering. Have to get more pleasure, have to get more bodily pleasure. Always hankering, dissatisfaction, lamentation, suffering. This is the nature of lust. This material world is based on either in subtle or in gross form. Lust is there. And Prabhupada used to say, Srila Prabhupada used to say, very nice things. Name, fame, prestige and adoration. Last near of Maya is fame. Lust, this is lust, you can say finest form. Yes. This is also lust. So here lust is prominent. Always frustration, always competition, how to become, I want to become great. Frustration, always hopeless, no satisfaction, satisfactions. How can I say satisfactions? Always speaking lacks, lamentations. But in love, hankering is there. How to serve Krishna, how to give more pleasure to Krishna, how to please Krishna. This is love, this is Radharani's love. Aslisya Padratam, this is Guru. This love is Guru, this love descended through parampara system. This is one energy, mercy potency. Prabhupada always used to say, this is mercy potency, this descended. So, in Guru, two mercy potencies, how can you say, in combined power, two mercy potencies. Radharani is Adi Guru, and in our Sampradaya, where is Nityananda Prabhu? He is also Guru. But very, how can I say, very sincerely, we have to study the Shastra scrutinizedly. With prayer mood, then we can understand. Although Radharani is superior, in Sisi this is there. Although she is Guru, but she is free from Gaurava. In lust, always prominent, how can master mood is prominent in love, lust, master mood. Always master, I am master, I want to control. This is master mood in lust. But in love, different, totally opposite. In love, the service mood, and I can say servitor mood, matured servitor mood. Matured servitor mood. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada Ji Maharaj says, once if you are very fortunate, once you see Guru, then you can't, you will finish everything. That means all your material qualifications, everything become zero. Guru Darshan means you cannot compare. Sometimes we are thinking, what is lacks in Guru? In knowledge, in detachment, in dedication. Lacks, how can you say? Yeah. Maybe Guru don't have, Gurudev, maybe he is not very qualified in knowledge, or in advance in knowledge, or advance in detachment. No, this is not Guru Darshan. When you are comparing, where our intelligence is comparing, that means still we are in material consciousness. This is not Guru Darshan. This mercy potency never descended to our heart. Therefore, we are unable to dedicate our life. We are unable to serve spiritual master. A dedication spirit is not coming, and humble mood is not coming, and that is suffering life. There is spiritual suffering life. Spiritual life is, happy life, but that is spiritual suffering. That is spiritual suffering. Because this mercy potency is not descending. So then mind is creating these problems. So Nityananda Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy potency and Radharani's mercy potency assembled, combined, and descend to this material world. Therefore you can see Prabhupada, even in West, we are Indians, we are fearful to speak something about Gauranga and Nityananda in our preaching. In Indian people, they think, Gaur Nityananda, they are sannyasis, they are saintly persons, they are not supreme personality of Godhead. But Prabhupada went to West. But in every temple installed, Gaur Nitai, Nityananda. Because he knows, empowered acharyas. Yes, this Guru's, this Radharani's mercy potency comes through empowered systems. Because this is prem. But in Radharani, this mood is there, Bhakta Bhav. How can you say? The mood of devotees is predominant there. Yes. Their mood of devotee. Also in Nityananda, although he is Balram, he is Adi Guru, but same. Bhakta Bhav. This is the blessing of Gaur Nitai. Krishna achieving the mood of a devotee, Balram achieving the mood of a devotee, and achieving mood of a devotee approaching Krishna. Sometimes we have doubt towards pure devotees. No one can approach Krishna without the pure devotees. No one can speak Krishna Katha without repeating the word of a pure devotees. That may be Mayavad. Maybe Nirvishesbad. How can you say impersonalism? No. Therefore, Guru means Prakash Vigraha. He manifests. Krishna manifests through Guru. You should not indicate to any person. Understand? Guru means this person. Like Gurudev said, oh, our spiritual master. So Gaur Gobind Swami Maharaj always used to say, this is tattva. You have to realize, you have to pray. Who is carrying this, this mercy potency? And how to carry this mercy potency? We'll read from Prabhupada's purport. Nitaira karuna have, braje radha krishna pave, dhara nitai charana dukhani. Who is granting hindrance? Is Nityananda Prabhu is merciful, and Nityananda Prabhu is representative Guru, the spiritual master. They are also merciful. But who is creating problem? There is always, I can say, this false ego is always creating hindrance to receive this empowered system. They are coming here. Nityananda Prabhu camps, Nityananda Prabhu's associates, they came here to empower us. But we are struggling because due to this false ego, ahankare mattahaya, ahankare mattahaya, nitai pada pasariya, asatya re satya kari mane. Here is conclusion. Why Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is required? And Guru is combined form of Nityananda's mercy and Radharani's mercy. But one thing, unless Nityananda recognize, for our initiation, in our process, you can see in ISKCON, recommendation. He will examine you. Yes. You are fulfilling all criteria, you are a qualified devotee, you are serving sincerely. Therefore, temple president giving the recommendation. This is important for, he is giving recommendation. Who is giving recommendation? You have to become very sincere. Recommendation. Once recommendation came, Guru said, okay. He got recommendation. Nityananda Prabhu, Radharani is like that. Everyone wants, okay, I will approach Radhe. No. You cannot approach Radhe. No. She is purest of the pure. Beyond of this is fourth dimension, like our Gurudev said. All these topics, all these discussions, even Mahaprabhu closed the door of Gambhira and discussing with Raya Ramananda and Swarup Damodar. You cannot, even there Govinda is not there. His godbrother is not there. His personal servant was not there. Bolting the door and discussing this topic of love. We cannot approach Radhe. But Radharani is there. Radharani, therefore, one lecture is there. Our Gurudev used to give these lectures. Guru Seva is Srimati Seva. Very difficult to understand all these topics. Serving to spiritual master is serving to Radharani. How? This combined form is there. Mercy potency's combined form is there. A disciple have to pray. Have to three things. It's very important for our spiritual life. One thing, first surrender. Purpose. Unless someone is not surrender, this is maybe, yes. Bhagavad Gita, 9, in his lecture, 2nd chapter, 13 verse, November 1972 in Hyderabad. The duty of a disciple is to fully surrender unto the spiritual master. When we are surrendered to spiritual master means we are honoring the whole parampara system. We are surrendered to all previous acharyas through Guru. When we are paying obeisance to Guru, that means we are paying our obeisance to all previous acharyas. Our mood should be like that. We are giving respect, honor, yes, in surrender mode. Therefore, Prabhupada said, the duty of a disciple is to fully surrender unto the spiritual master. Unless you can surrender, you do not accept anyone as spiritual master. If you are not surrender, when you are surrendered to spiritual master means he surrendered to his guru. You see, three things is continuously flowing in this parampara system. Three things. First, like we are a disciple. We are praying to Guru. We are surrendered to Guru. And Guru is surrendered to Param Guru, his Guru. His Guru is surrendered to his Guru. This surrender process, this surrender mood is approaching Krishna. Why this parampara is bona fide? Everyone surrender to previous acharyas. Therefore, this mercy potency is descending. And second thing, no one is accepting service. Everyone is accepting service for Guru, for Krishna. Like our Gurudev used to say, Krishna is opening here, Guru is opening here, Krishna Sansar. Guru is not accepting any service. If Guru accepts service, then he is not Guru. Even he is not qualified to become a disciple. What to speak about Guru? No. And this is the statement of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When Balram performed Ras Leela, so how is it possible? Balram is Prakash Vigraha. In Vrindavan, he is carrying the mood of a devotee. Although parental affection is there, friendship is there, but how he can perform Ras with gopis? In commentary, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, no, Tattva is there. In Balaram, Krishna was there at that time. Krishna was enjoying through Balaram this rasa. Balaram don't want. How it is possible for Balaram? He can enjoy rasa. Like that. Guru is like that. Guru is just opening Krishna's. You see, this Prabhupada opening this one. ISKCON is nothing. This is Prabhupada's sansar. Prabhupada's family. He is giving us an engagement. You see, this engagement, first surrender. The surrender process is approaching Krishna. I am a disciple, I am surrendered to my Guru. Unless I am surrendered to my Guru, I am not a disciple. What to speak about Guru? And nothing will come. Spiritually, zero. According to our surrender, the mercy potential will descend from Guru. Not only for surrender, another thing is there. Surrender and service. Service mode also, this service also approaching Krishna. We are getting all spirit, all emotions, you can say spiritual emotions, spiritual strength from Guru, therefore we are serving. You see all the young boys, even someone is young, someone is old, whoever may be. It is not easy for a conditioned soul who is carrying this material senses and serving Krishna. It is not possible. He can give whole year for his family, but giving 1 hour for Krishna is very difficult. Always this mind, the senses, the intelligence, always creating problems. It's not so easy. So according to our surrender, and second thing, our service also approaching Krishna. Like we are serving our spiritual master also carrying same mood. I am serving. Like Prabhupada, you can see, whenever Prabhupada saw his disciples, he said, oh, my Gurudev sent all of you. Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, Guru never accept disciple. Guru accept Guru. Yes. This Guru position is such a position. This is Radharani's position. Nityananda Prabhu's position. Everyone giving honor to that position. The topmost position, this love, Radharani's love. And Nityananda Prabhu's compassionate is there. These two things. Therefore Prabhupada said, the duty of a disciple is to fully surrender unto the spiritual master. Unless you can surrender, you do not accept anyone as spiritual master. No, if someone is not surrender, he don't have any spiritual master. He may said, okay, he is my spiritual master, because nothing will reveal. Nothing will reveal. All will carry all this material, material consciousness, material intelligence, material qualifications. That is struggling life. So surrender is approaching Krishna through Guru Parampara. I have to surrender to my Guru. And Guru means this is, and Radharani, although the owner of, you can say, soul, it's her soul property, this love, still she surrendered to Krishna. So this surrender process is approaching Krishna, and service also approaching Krishna. We are serving our Guru, Gurudev is serving Param Guru, like that. And third thing is very important, prayer. These three things, by these three things, we can understand this mercy potency. Continuously we have to pray. Prabhupada said in Ajamil life history, Prabhupada said, material world is very dangerous at every step. Unless you pray sincerely. Yes. Hare Krishna Mahamantra means this is prayer. We are praying, but mood is not there. This is the problem. We are struggling. Like everyone saying, oh, I have problem in chanting. Yes, this is this. Because we are not surrendered to Guru. We are not surrendered to whole parampara, Guru Tattva. This is Radharani's Tattva. This is Nityanand process. We are struggling, therefore. Praying, mood is not coming. We are praying, you are praying someone, but mood is not there. You will suffer. To whom you are praying, he will not disturb. Suppose I am approaching you, I have to get, why we are praying to Radharani and Krishna? For love. But mood is not there. So therefore we are suffering. The mood is not there, and desires, material desires are also there. This is creating problems. So who will save us? So first three things we have to understand. If someone wants to know about Guru, first you have to know this is the combined form, combined mercy potency. Radharani's mercy potency, because Radharani wants all souls should serve Krishna without any duplicity. And standard of Golak Vrindavan, pure love. Pure love. No one can enter to Golak Vrindavan. Pure love. So recommendation, whether we are pure or not, we are conditioned souls. Who will purify us? That is another question. Who will purify us? It's a big challenge. We cannot purify us. We may have knowledge, we may have detachment. Prabhupada said, very nice purport. That is actually science. Sometimes Prabhupada mentions his purport, this is science. Prabhupada said about Kala Krishna Das. Anyone may fall down from his exalted position at any time. Prabhupada said, yeah, very nice purport. Yes. Kala Krishna Das was influenced by Sisi Madhyalila 1065 and allured by Normad of gypsies who enchanted him with woman. Maya is so strong that Kala Krishna Das left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu company to join gypsy woman. So even though a person may associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can be allured by Maya and leave the Lord's company due to his slight independence. Slight independence. This word is piercing to our hearts. Slight independence. Maya is so strong because we are staying here. This is Maya's place. Like our Gurudev say, you are sleeping on the lap of Maya. Snoring, sleeping, enjoying, dancing, eating. All our field of activities based on this. And slightest independent. We have to realize, we are devotees, we have. Who will check this independent? Who will check? Sometimes we don't know I have independent. We are thinking this is spiritual activities, but in subtle form, independence is there. We are repeating Guru's word, we are serving Guru, we are nearby Guru, but still independent comes. How to check it? And false ego is there. So Nityananda. Nitaya Karuna have a recommendation is required from Nityananda Prabhu. So, if someone wants to distribute love or to empower by love, first he should be a devotee of Gauranga, dear devotee of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Dear devotee of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, not devotee, dear devotee of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Gaur and Nitai, they should be our, asset. Asset. Yes. Unless Nityananda Prabhu saw our mercy, this slight independence, Ar kabe nitai chander karuna hoibe sansara vasana mora kabe tuchha hobe. Unless Nityananda Prabhu saw our mercy, the subtle desires within our heart, the false pride, ahankara matta hoya, nitaya pada pasarya, all the impediments, all the anarthas. We don't have power. We are qualified, we are preacher, whoever we may be, but we cannot purify ourselves without help of Nityananda Prabhu. This is Nityananda's mercy. Once Nityananda Prabhu saw our mercy, then you will develop a desire. How can you say? Hankering, spiritual hankering. How to approach Radha and Krishna. Without Nityananda Prabhu, it is not possible. Nitayra karuna have vraje Radha Krishna pave. So to this Guru, the spiritual masters, they are in combined form. Nityananda Prabhu, they are carrying the Nityananda Prabhu's mercy potency. How this empowered system, like Guru and disciple. So this is I'm not qualified to describe all this thing in English, but I am trying my best depending on Prabhupada and all of you. So this Guru, we are not identified to any person. This is Guru Tattva. This is Radharani's mercy and Nityananda's Prabhu. How it descends. We can see in Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada, SB 118. These two verses are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Vriyu snigdasya sisyasya gurobe guhyam api utaha. And in Sissi purport, Prabhupada mentioning so nice about Siddhar Swami's commentary. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple is very much obedient and submissive. You see how this mercy potency descend from Guru to disciple, from Guru to disciple. Guru, Sisya, Parampara. Actually, this comes from disciple success, we are saying. We are saying Guru Sisya Parampara, but in English always Prabhupada saying disciple successor, na? Yes, disciple successor. When we carry this mood of a disciple, then this mercy potency descend. Mood of a disciple. And what is mood of a disciple? And Prabhupada mentioning here. What is qualification of a disciple? What should be mood of a disciple? It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to a bona fide spiritual master. Submissive and obedient. This two nature is not with us. Like junk iron. How can you say in English? A piece of iron, it is junked. In English it called junk? Rusted. Okay, I don't know English, please help me. Thank you. You should help me. A rusted iron. Yes. When finish. Yes. In our heart, all these bad qualities are there. So we are not submissive. We are not submissive. And we are not obedient. Due to these material qualifications. Anyhow, this is our karma. Past karmic reaction is so heavy. Only this mercy potency. Only. Our Gurudev always used to repeat these things. Mercy make impossible to possible. We are always calculating, this is impossible for me. To impossible, nothing is impossible. You see what Prabhupada had done. This is possible. This is possible. This is possible for Krishna. He will go to West. He will preach in English. He will preach hour and hour. He will cook. He will train. No. Krishna came to India. He never talked with our forefathers. He never come to Orissa even. He performed Leela in Vrindavan. When Krishna came, he just delivers few demands. You know, he delivered few demands. But you see, Krishna's mercy potency, his divine grace, his divine grace. Whose divine grace? Krishna's divine grace. You see, this is divine grace. No, what is mercy? We cannot realize. If you pray to Krishna, Krishna, what is your mercy? Krishna will listen. Krishna don't know what is his mercy. You know, like a billionaire, like our Tata companies, big companies. Oh, they are only enjoying, you know, how much money, one day coming, one day going. They don't know anything. They don't. Krishna don't know. You want to know what is Krishna's mercy? Krishna's devotees knows. Krishna's devotees. You want to know Krishna, about Krishna's mercy? Devotee, Bhakta. Therefore Mahaprabhu was chanting in mood of Radharani. In mood of Radharani, devotee mood is approaching Krishna. But when we are chanting, when we are praying, when we are serving, not in devotee mood. We are not in devotee mood. I am serving Krishna. Mood is different. When Mahaprabhu chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Devotee. Assuming the mode of a devotee. This is Nityananda Prabhu also same. Same. Devotee mood. Here Balram mood is not prominent. Here Balram is not prominent. Devotee mood. Both are in devotee mood. And unless we approach devotee, next question, Prabhupada also said, how to get this mercy? This is SB, Srimad Bhagavatam, 8 canto, 16 chapter, 24 verse in purport. If this mercy potency is descending through Guru Parampara, how to receive it? Because nowadays, like you know, in case of Prabhupada, he went, this was Krishna's mercy, he went west. Immediately Krishna sent some sincere souls. The devotee, they are not searching where is pure devotee, where is pure devotees. I have to find out who is pure. How can we know who is pure, who is not pure? We don't know whether we are pure or not pure. We don't know about our position, whether I am pure. We are not pure, but we are searching who is pure. You understand? We are not pure. We have a separate desire. You know what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, no one can save you from this second desire without help of spiritual master. Second desire means, first desire to please Krishna, Guru and Krishna. And everything is second desire. Without pleasing a pure devotee, without pleasing Krishna, if you have other desire, this is second desire. This is cruel hand of Maya. Maya's cruel hand. No one can free without the help of Guru. He said like that. It's very deep tattva, Guru tattva. Mahaprabhu said himself. Mahaprabhu personally said to Pradyumna Mishra, you go and approach. Because Pradyumna Mishra, yes, he approached Mahaprabhu. Prabhu, I want to hear Krishna Katha. Mahaprabhu said, oh, you are so fortunate. You are developing desire to hear Krishna Katha. Go, approach Raya Ramananda. He knows Krishna Katha. I don't know. Yes, he knows. Actually, devotee know everything. Devotee know. Bumblebee knows what is the taste of honey. You know? Lotus don't know. Cow don't know the taste of milk. Calf knows. Krishna don't know what is devotion. Devotee knows. Therefore, he assumed the mood of a devotee. Bhakta prema arje dasa jagati prakar jata sukha jata dukha jata ka vikar Krishna ta na pare janite samyak na pare janite bhakta bhav angi kare taha aswadite. This is Sisi. Which one? This reference? Usually I forgot the references. Yes. Maybe Madhya, where? Yes. I'll see. Krishna assuming the mood of a devotee. Even Mahaprabhu personally instruct Pradyumna Mishra. You know, sometimes this question is coming, who is pure? Prabhupada mentioned everything in his book. Therefore our Gurudev said, everything is in ISKCON. Everything is in ISKCON. This is our responsibilities. But Prabhupada said everything. Prabhupada said, if someone is not controlling his senses, this is maybe... where? I can show you. If someone is not controlling his senses, he is not qualified to become a disciple, or he is not qualified to become a guru also. Prabhupada said. Yes. We are always calculating about guru, but we are forgetting the part of a disciple. Disciple, he is not also eligible to become a disciple if he is not controlling senses. Because why? He cannot carry this mercy potency. He is unable to carry this mercy potency. Yes. So this Nityananda Prabhu's mercy help us. And more we pray to Nityananda Prabhu's dear devotees, Guru, then this surrender mood, praying mood, service mood to be more matured. We are discussing about this Pradyumna Mishra. Mahaprabhu personally said, Pradyumna Mishra, you should approach Raya Ramananda. And when Pradyumna Mishra saw Raya Ramananda, he said, no, he is not a suitable candidate. You see, after Mahaprabhu instructed, his vision was different. And what to speak about to us? Mahaprabhu instructed. I don't know Krishna Katha, Raya Ramananda. You should approach Raya Ramananda. But when he approached Raya Ramananda, he calculated Raya Ramananda in material vision. Because Raya Ramananda, you know how Raya Ramananda was addressing the young girls. His mood was Gopi Bhav. Then he returned. Pradyumna Mishra returned. Then Mahaprabhu said, oh, you don't know who is he. He is greater than me. Although he is a grihastha, he controls all his senses. No one is there. No, you cannot compare anyone with Raya Ramananda. Even I am a sannyasi, I am pure to woman. Mahaprabhu said. You know how Mahaprabhu is praising, how can you say? Yes, appreciating Raya Ramananda. This is Guru Tattva. He is appreciating devotees. Krishna. Very difficult. This is mercy potency. It does not mean I am Guru, or I can say like that. He is Guru, he can say. We should not calculate about the person. We have to realize this mercy. Who is carrying this mercy potency? And how it descends. Like our Gurudev said, okay, you want to Realize, or you want to know who is carrying this mercy potency, Radharani's mercy potency, Nityananda mercy potency? Whose potency it is? Guru's potency, whose potency? This is not this person's potency. You understand? This is not person's potency. Suppose I am Guru. This is not my potency. You want to see Guru's potency, you don't see my potency, you see Guru's potency. You understand? Then whose potency this Guru's potency? This is Radharani's potency. This is Nityananda Prabhu's potency. You have to see these things. Then this is Guru Darshan. Then how can you see these things? This is his potency. When we surrender, when we pray, when we serve, then same potency accept us. It rebuilds. Therefore Gurudev said so many subtle things. Now this is time for our realization. Gurudev said in spiritual field, everything, this is a revealing process. You understand? Reveal, revealing process. We are chanting, but Mahamantra is not revealing in our heart. We are serving Guru. We are attending Guru Puja. We are praying to Prabhupada, but the mood of Prabhupada, it is not revealing. This is a revealing process. And the revelation, how can I say in English? The revelations, it depends on your surrender, service and prayer. And complete revelations comes when you come to this bhav stage, ecstasy. Yes. This Guru Tattva means this is Radharani's potency, mercy potency and Nityananda's potency, his potency. Then we have to pray. We have to pray to Nityananda Prabhu. If someone wants to know who is Guru, who is carrying, Guru means who is carrying this mercy potency, then you have to pray. Please you help me. I don't know who is your own man. Who is carrying this potency? You know. It is your potency. Please you help. Then by his mercy, this revelation comes. This energy will reveal. Then we can know. Oh yes. Yes. And for this thing, Super Soul will help you. Because he is residing within our heart. His every moment he is studying our desires. We are preaching, we can say so many things, he is good, he is bad, he is like that, like this, like that. Okay. That is not a big thing. You can say he is bad, he is good, he is like that. But who are we? Who are you? Super Soul knows. Like I am preaching here, who I am, what is my desire? Guru knows, Super Soul knows. Krishna knows. We cannot cheat. In spiritual field, we cannot cheat others. We can cheat ourselves. Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apna ke janan Krishna mor Prabhu trata jiber hai gyan. This is Krishna's mercy. Through Shastra. He revealed. This is Adilla. And Guru, this potency. He wants to help a conditioned soul. This is a revealing process. Therefore, even Mahaprabhu instructed Pradyumna Mishra, you go and approach. But he fell. Then again came. Then again Mahaprabhu described fully everything about Raya Ramananda. Then Pradyumna Mishra. Very difficult. Radharani's and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy potency. This is Guru Tattva. You can see in case of Srivas. Why Mahaprabhu likes Srivas Pandit? Why? You know, Nityananda Prabhu used to stay in Srivas Pandit's house. You know all these leelas. Usually Mahaprabhu wants to test Nityananda Prabhu. How Mahaprabhu like his devotees. How he give respect to this Guru Tattva. We are worshippers of devotees. Bhakta Bhaktiman. We are clever. Before I am saying this, we are clever or Krishna is clever? Who is clever? Who is clever? We are not clever. Krishna is very clever. You see, we are worshipping Krishna, but Krishna is worshipping devotee. 10th canto, 86th chapter, 58 verse. Evam subhaktayo rajan bhagavan bhakta bhaktiman usitwadi sasanmargam punardvaravati magat. You can see this verse. Krishna is devoted to his devotee. And we are devoted to Krishna directly. Therefore, we are sometimes pale. You know, the result, when result comes, oh, he's pale. Zero. Day and night, day and night, day and night, we are studying, chanting. Result? No. Not even no third class. Now fail. Why? We are not devoted to devotee. Yes, this is, you know, this is two parallel things. We have to serve Krishna. We have to develop our devotion towards Krishna through devotee. So first we must have devotion towards devotee. Then naturally, by mercy potency, you will be devoted to Krishna. Yes. Why Nityananda Mahaprabhu, once Mahaprabhu tested Nityananda, Srivas. You know about this Vyas Puja, how Mahaprabhu personally performed Vyas Puja of Nityananda Prabhu. Personally said, I want to perform Vyas Puja of Nityananda. By this way, you want to treat us. We have to give respect to pure devotees. And who is pure? Actually, if you are sincere, you have to pray, you have to cry. You understand? So, I am just coming, I am coming. I am not a very advanced devotee, but I have faith on pure devotees. 100%. This faith is there. What they are saying, Ajarjavan Purusha Vedavas, finish. What Prabhupada said, what Acharya said, finish. We are sometimes, you know, we are giving respect to millionaires. So we are, oh, he's millionaire, a billionaire. Like in India, said crorepati's. Okay. To whom you are giving respect? When I was coming, this thought come to my mind. We are giving respect to devotees. We are giving respect to Guru. To whom we are giving respect? To that person. You are giving respect to that person. Why you are giving respect to that person? Like crorepati's or millionaires. Because he have million of rupees. You understand? The respect coming out of this wealth. Out of this wealth. Because he is the owner of this wealth. He is carrying this wealth. So Guru, when he carrying this love, he pure devotees. He is carrying this love. For this love we are giving respect. He is carrying this love. So we should not think, oh, he is Guru. He is a person. No. Whether he is carrying love or not, this mercy potency or not, we have to pray. There is no other way in spiritual life. No other way. So many philosophies are there. Whole life you discuss all these philosophies. We cannot finish. But everything will reveal to us according to our surrender, service and prayer. Otherwise we will speculate. He is good, he is bad, he is like that, he is like that, he is like that. Krishna knows who is who. Approach Krishna, he will reveal to you. Bas, finish. Therefore Mahaprabhu said, Nityananda, Srivas, why you are keeping Nityananda in your house always? He is sannyasi, he is not following any custom. You know, sannyasi have to carry danda, but Nityananda Prabhu sometimes not carrying danda, he is carrying iron rod, like devotee of Shiva. and sometimes naked in front of Mataji's. This is not duty of a sannyasi. When sannyasi should take prasadam and taking bath, no one should see. According to Smriti, it should be secret. And naked, sometimes wearing kaupin and sometimes also naked. And most of the time, he always, Nityananda Prabhu approaching Malini, you should feed me. You are a sannyasi. Malini is Mataji. And Malini Devi used to feed Nityananda Prabhu. And tear coming. You know, one small child, you are feeding, mother used to feed baby foods to small babies, they are crying. Nityananda Prabhu used to cry. Tear is coming. But Mahaprabhu once asked Srivas, you know Nityan's caste? You are staying in a society, some custom is there. You never asked before Nityan's caste, whether he is Brahman, he is Kshatriya or Vaishya. I have doubt on his caste. I have doubt. His sannyasi is not following sannyasi order. Varna and ashram. He is not following ashram order. At least you have to follow Varna order. At least you have to follow the caste system. You ask his caste. You know? You never ask. Better you kick him out. Kick him out. Then what Srivas said? This is famous words. Even, Sahajas, they are applying for their guru. Madira Javani Jadi Dhare Nityananda. Srivas said, I am speaking, this is my path. This is path. Path does not comes from mind. Path does not comes from intelligence. If you pray, if you surrender, if you serve, that super soul will give you faith. He is the controller. He will give you faith. This unflinching faith. Yes, you can continue these things. It's not for today you have some faith on Prabhupada, and after you meet some sadhu, you can say, oh, he's more elevated than Prabhupada. No. Chastity is not there. Loyalty is not there. Your intelligence is creating this pollution. Mind is creating this pollution. Yes. No one is like my spiritual master. You understand? A very difficult task. Very difficult task for a conditioned soul. Unless you realize this worship what I see, you will always compare. Outside you will worship, outside you will respect, outside you will do everything, but inside always bargaining. Like in market, you are buying some vegetables. Always bargaining. When you study Shastra, oh my Gurudev never said these things. When you see some sadhu, oh he is saying Rasa Tattva, he is saying Radha Tattva, my Gurudev never said like this. This is not Guru Darshan. No one like my spiritual master. This is not, there is no necessity to train the minds, to convince the mind on that point. Naturally you have to serve, naturally you have to surrender, naturally you have to pray. Just following the footstep of Acharyas. Then the super soul give you this natural faith. This verse, Madira Javani Jadi Dhare Nityananda. If Nityananda will go to prostitute's house, if Nityananda will drink wine, still I am saying these things. He is worshipful of Brahma. What to speak about me? He said Brahma. Then Mahaprabhu started to dance. How you know about Nityananda? What it's mean? What it's mean? Huh? What it's mean? Oh, you recognize Guru Tattva. You recognize Guru Tattva. How you know? This, I sent personally Pradyumna Mishra. He fails to recognize Rai Ramananda. But how you recognize? Oh, this is Nityananda's mercy. This is Nityananda's mercy. Therefore you recognize Nityananda. This is not our power. We are, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, we are warm in this stool. But still, I think our position is less than that. We are not fit. We are not to be warm in this stool of a Vaishnava. Maybe in a dog, we are appropriate. We can warm in the stool, in a dog stool maybe. Not in human stool. So many bad qualities, so many false proud. After coming to the Vaishnavism, what to do? I used to say in Oriya, to whom we will blame? Therefore we have to pray to Gurudev, Prabhupada, all Acharyas, Whether I am good or bad, I am your. I am your. You have to save me. You have to save me. Yes. I used to give this example. You know the dogs, you can see some dogs. They have 4 legs. If backside leg, 2 backside leg is broken. You saw? You can see the dogs, how he's suffering. Without mercy, our life is like that. Many times devotees are asking question, why I have to pray? We are thinking I have to pray for a certain limit. Huh? No. Radharani is still praying. The surrender, service and prayer of to Golok Vrindavan. Always, according to our level. You may be Guru, you have to pray for. When you stop your praying, we are not Nitya Siddhas. When you stop your prayer, when you stop your surrender mood, when you stop your service, then mercy potential will disappear. Prabhupada said these things. Yes. Therefore, how this mercy portion descended, like we are discussing, you see. Pradipman Mishra fails to recognize Raya Ramananda. But Srivas Pandit recognize. Due to Nityananda's mercy. Okay, come to Ballavacharya. When in Kasi, Mahaprabhu was there, Rupa Goswami was there, Ballavacharya was there. As a learned. But Ballavacharya, Mahaprabhu said, Ballav, you know, Rupa Goswami is Muslim. He is from Muslim background. He is not a devotee. And immediately, Ballavacharya said, no, he is a pure devotee. Because from his tongue, this Krishna name is coming always. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You see? It looks like he recognized. No. He recognized from intelligence. How difficult to recognize this mercy potency. No. Jogyata vichar. Who can recognize? Jogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna sar. This is the only one point we can say. Like we used to preach, especially I used to preach this thing in Oriya. We are preaching, we are constructing temple, we are serving, we are doing everything but forgetting one thing. Jasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. We are remembering so many verses, we know so many philosophy, but we are remembering one thing. Jasya prasadat bhagavat. Who can recognize this mercy potency? Jogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomar karuna sar. I am only continuing my spiritual life. I am living here only by your mercy. Every day we have to, this is Guru Puja. This is every moment. What is, what is most dangerous thing? What is most, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, even for one moment you forget these things. I don't have any qualification. Only I am continuing my spiritual life by the blessings of these acharyas. When you forget these blessings, immediately Maya predominates, second desire. So every moment we have to continue, the Sishyatva Bhava, how can you say? The mood of a disciple, Yeah. To disciple is very easy, but continuing the mood of a disciple, Sishyatva Bhava, very difficult. This is Sishyatva Bhava. I don't have any qualifications. Only I am continuing my spiritual life depending on your mercy. And if you don't shower mercy, I will cry, and I will give up. This is worship to Sri Guru. This worship is above, giving garland, above washing feet, above feeding Guru. This is real worship. Every moment we have to pray. When you preach, when you chant, whatever, maybe whatever service you have, this is Guru's mercy. Mercy potency. If you pray like that, then this mercy potency will reveal to us. And this mercy potency descended in which way? We are discussing about Rupa Goswami, because this is Guru Tattva, of many things coming to I have time now. So I have to finish. Rupa Goswami, Vallabhacharya partially realized from Shastra, in point of Shastric vision, you can say. Oh, because he is chanting always Hare Krishna, he may be pure devotee. But he cannot accept the mood of Rupa Goswami, which is not surrendered to Rupa. Therefore, Rupa Goswami's mercy, he is unable to achieve Rupa Goswami's mercy. Rupa Goswami's mood, when someone surrendered to mercy potency, sometimes fault is coming. We are continuing our spiritual life after many years, something is coming. Like Prabhupada said, anyone may fall down from his exalted position at any moment in this material world. This is two things. Between Guru and Guru means this mercy potency and this disciple. When you surrender to mercy potency, when you pray, serve to Guru and Acharya system, then mercy potency will control you. This is the mercy potency. And this is our prayer service. When we give up these things, then this is now prominent. Then fault will come. This is happening. No one can say my spiritual life is secure unless it is protected. Prabhupada said, unless it is protected by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore we have to pray. And especially we have to chant very sincerely. Pray very sincerely. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You know what happened? How we can control ourselves? Constant material flow is flowing in our intelligence. This is material world. Our father mother they are not saintly person. They perform some bho and gives bath to us. Our father mother they are enjoying and we took bath. This material flow is there. We are working in material field. Intelligence is there. How to control these things? When we serve, when we surrender to the mercy potency, then the mood, how can I say, transfer. When you surrender to Acharya system, then this mood of Acharyas will reveal to you. It depends on your surrender, prayer and service. That although he recognized Rupa Goswami from Shastric point of view, because he is not surrendered to Rupa Goswami, Rupapad's mood, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, the mood of Rupa Manjari never revealed to Vallabhacharya. Therefore Mahaprabhu rejected his commentaries. This is the proof. In Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu said, no, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Because you are not subordinate to Rupa Goswami, you are not surrender. That means mercy potency is not revealing. Therefore, whatever commentary you are writing, some knowledge is there, something is there. And especially you are not surrender to devotee. Therefore, this is our surrender process. You have to pray, you have to surrender, you have to serve. This is a flow, continuous flow. Therefore, how this mercy potency descendant, this is 8:16:24 SV, Srimad Bhagavatam, 8:16:24. To approach a bona fide guru is essential. The bona fide spiritual master is he who has received the mercy of his guru. You see this mercy potency of his guru. We have to surrender to our spiritual master. We have to. There is no other way. Or 12, Where is Prabhuji? We have to finish our class. 12, Yeah. 12, Okay. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay. After 5 minutes I will stop, then 5 minutes question. Okay. So to approach a bona fide guru is essential. The bona fide spiritual master is who has received the mercy of his guru. Received mercy. We are receiving, We are receiving mercy, this word. Receiving. Through from Radharani, from Nityananda's mercy is flowing. Through our acharyas, Nitya Siddha acharyas. When we surrender, when we serve, when we pray, according to our percentage, we can receive this mercy. And to realize this mercy potency, realizing Guru. Realizing Guru. And therefore they said, Jasya prasadat bhagavad prasadu, Jasya prasadin. Prabhupada said, oh, otherwise there is a great havoc unless you receive mercy from your spiritual master. Then this is a great havoc in your spiritual life. Great havoc. And Prabhupada said, to approach a bona fide Guru is essential. The bona fide spiritual master is he who has received the mercy of his Guru, who in turn is bona fide because he has received the mercy of his Guru. This is the bona fide system. Yes, there is no other way. You have to receive anyhow. Anyhow. You know, this is like cutting a throat of an animal who is ready for fire sacrifice. Everyone, you know, in fire sacrifice they are cutting sometimes goat, sometimes other creatures, horse. Everyone appreciating. You know, our life is like that, we are animal. Anyhow, Maya will cut our throat. Yes. So why Maya will cut our throat? Better Guru should cut our throat. We have to ready always to sacrifice our life in this fire. There is no other way. Please Prabhupada, Acharyas, Guru Vargas, please protect me. Please help me. Please engage me. Please control me. This is Guru Puja. This is Vyas Puja. This is Vyas Puja. This is, we have to avoid this mood. Without mercy, I can't live in this spiritual life. Prabhupada said, who in turn is bona fide because he has received the mercy of his Guru. This is called parampara system. What is parampara system? This is parampara. Actually, if you want to carry this parampara system like Prabhupada mission, always you have to pray. Always you have to surrender. When you will serve mercy, then we can do something. And when mercy will come, mercy make impossible to possible. You know, it turns like, you know, before you were iron, now you are like gem, ratna, sparshamani. How can touch stone? Mercy. This is our only qualification. Yeah, there is no other way. Although there are so many things are there. Yeah. And about disciple, this is last, maybe question answer. This is CC, Madhyan Lila, 7:15. About this verse, I forgot to speak these things. Briyu snigdasya sisyasya gurove guhyam api utaha. In that verse, what Prabhupada said, what should be the qualification of a disciple? A disciple who has actual love for his spiritual master is endowed by the blessings of the spiritual master with all confidence and knowledge. All confidence and knowledge. If someone has love for his spiritual master, then knowledge will come. This Jnananjana Salaka, Om Jnanati Mirandasya. This is the ointment. Servitor mode. I am a servant, Vaishnava, I am a servant of Guru. Knowledge will reveal. All confidence and knowledge. Srila Sridhar Swami has commented that this word snigdhasya means prema bataha. The word prema bata indicates that one has great love for his spiritual master. Yes. This is not, we are conditioned soul. If you are hungry, if you are sick, if our desire is not fulfilled, where is love? Where is spiritual master? Everything finished. We are conditioned souls. We have to pray. Always you have to pray. Therefore, this is our appeal at the lotus feet of all previous acharyas. Vaishnavas, please help me so that I can continue this mood of a disciple. I can pray, I can surrender, I can serve. So thank you. So if you have some question, someone may ask this question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for enlightening us on understanding the importance of mercy potency. So I understood the part that we need to serve, surrender and pray to understand the mercy potency and to have that one-pointed faith on our spiritual master. And I really like the point when you said externally we do surrender, but internally we are always doing comparison.
Yes.
You know, this is better, that is
This
better.
is, you know, this is spiritual suicides. Yes, I am always saying this is spiritual suicide. Jasya devi para bhakti jatha devi tatha guru. Very strongly. Yes.
So Maharaj, I do understand the meaning of the word prayer. We should pray.
Ah.
But when the first 2 points you said service and surrender, my understanding was service has an implicit surrender.
Yes.
And vice versa. Surrender means you're gonna do service. Can you please elaborate and speak what does service and surrender means? Because you made 2 points separately.
Yeah, unless you surrender, you cannot serve. I want to surrender you, unless I am surrendered to you, I cannot serve you.
Correct.
This serve may be official, Prabhupada said. This may be official, I am serving you. When you surrender, when I am surrendered to you, you will reveal your mood to me. So revelation dependent surrender. Suppose I am not surrendered to you, you want water, I am preparing some milk. So this, although I am serving you, but I am not surrender. I am serving you, but I am not surrender, because nothing is revealing. Your what you want, this is not revealing. So therefore, when service is coming, when some senior devotee is giving some order, whatever is coming, in our spiritual life, prayer, you know, prayer is, how can you say, we are living on prayer. We are continuing our spiritual life, you know, previous spiritual life and prayer. And our also future life is prayer. Path of prayer. And you can read the purport of fall down of Ajambil, what Prabhupada said. So I am requesting all the members of ISKCON, they should chant 16 round. Unless they will pray, this is a very dangerous place. There is chance of fall down. So surrender, unless we surrender, we cannot pray. Unless we surrender, we cannot serve. Therefore, when beginning we are coming to ISKCON, always we are subordinate to some, you know, like junior, some commander is there, some leader is there. And who is creating problem in our surrender? False ego. I have qualification, I can do like that, I can do like that. But this is spiritual field. We don't have any qualification. And for this realization, and this is a matter of realization, therefore, we have to follow who is surrender to spiritual master. Why we are honoring seniors? Because they are surrender to their guru. Then we have to follow them. Then naturally, we learn what is surrender. Without surrender, no one can serve. You know, Radharani was surrender, Chandrabal was surrender. What is the difference? Both are serving, and Krishna also approaching Chandravali. Sometimes not going, promising Radharani, not going there and going to Chandravali. That does not mean Chandravali is greater than Radha. You understand my point? But Radharani surrender. She knows how to give pleasure to Krishna. But Chandravali, little separate desire. Not desire, this is Abhiman. How can you say? Krishna is mine, only my property. Only I have right on Krishna. But Radha, different. I am Krishna's. You see, in surrender mode, even in Goloka Vrindavan, little difference is there. I am Guru's. I am not sannyasi. I am not Guru. I am not Guru. I am Guru's. Amito Thakur, Tumito Thakura, Amito Kukura, Bulia. I am a dog. I am a dog. Very difficult position. Realizing a position of a disciple is very difficult. Name, fame, prestige, adoration, preaching, everything is there. But continuing this doggish mentality, you know. Prabhupada said karmi mentality is doggish mentality. But in spiritual field, we have to continue this doggish mentality. Not for enjoyment. I am Guru's. I am Prabhupada's. This life is only meant for acharyas. Please protect me, please save me, please help me. And sure, they are coming to help us. Why not? We have to pray. And we know how far we can go. A small child, mother is, she is catching hand, she is pulling, giving inspiration, therefore child is, child is going. We are like that. Guru and Krishna will give you inspirations from inside. Support soul will give. This mercy potence will give. And every step they will protect you, guide you. Obstacle will come, be sure. Be sure. This is stepstones towards Krishna. Obstacles inside, outside, so many challenges. And only prayer. You have to tolerate. Like Prabhupada said to our spiritual master, to our Gurudev, to cooperate and tolerate. Then you can lead this mission. So thank you. So now this time Maharaj already came.
Another question? Oh, no.
Okay. So the Maharaj is there, Prabhupada's disciple. Hare Krishna. I want mercy from all Prabhupada's disciples, all senior Vaishnavas, all Dhamvasis, and all of you. Please excuse me, my English is not good. Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Nityanand Prabhu ki jai. Maybe next class, you can, in 16th, Prabhuji will say, next class, maybe they will allow, then I can discuss more about Guru Tattva, no problem. So depend on Prabhuji. And question answer section. Hare Krishna. Sambit Vaishnava Bhakta Vrunda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for explaining very nicely about the Guru Tattva and potency and mercy, how it flows, acts. Thank you so much. We thank to Maharaj by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Louder please. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So, we thank all the devotees. Patiently they are listening. All of you are listening. Now we have His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Narsingha Swami Maharaj with us. So, we welcome Maharaj by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, hope all of you know about Maharaj, Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Narsingha Swami Maharaj. I'll speak about him few words. Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Narsingha Swami Maharaj was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in London 1971. A year later, he received the second initiation. He has been preaching for over last 25 years in Asia countries. Now it is more. It's long back. So Asia countries such as India, Philippines, China, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia and Thailand. Through his years of preaching, he has given countless souls practical guidance and deep inspiration, taking sannyasa in Mayapur in 1994 from His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Did not mean much of a change in his lifestyle, since Maharaj has always been strict in his sadhana. Whoever gets to know Maharaj admires and respects a sincere and faithful practice of chanting the holy names of the Lord. He truly walks his talk. Maharaj has been teaching with the MI since the beginning. Now also he is teaching, and we request Maharaj to speak. Maharaj has been given a topic on Lord Chaitanya's appearance and his childhood pastimes. Thank you, Maharaj. Uluduni.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srinivas Gopal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
হরে কৃষ্ণ। আচ্ছা, বাংলা ভক্তরা কতজন আছে এখানে? ওকে, আপনারা শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? एफएमए 9090 नंबर। और हिंदी भक्त लोग कितना लोग हैं यहाँ पर? हिंदी ओके, आप लोग सुन रहे हैं ना ट्रांसलेशन में? ओके, हरे कृष्ण। चाइनीज, रशियंस, which frequency you are on? 95 Russian and Chinese. Zoom. No, those who are here, how they will understand? Okay. Okay, Chinese, Zoom, on Zoom it is there. You can connect online. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to Sravana utsav for 2023. So this is the first day of Sravana utsav. It's a nice opportunity for us to have more hearing and chanting, as the name implies. So this year they've given us topics. Previous years we were more free, we could select our own topic, but this year we've been told what topics they wanted us to speak on. And these topics are all taken from Chaitanya Charitamrita. As you could see, Haladar Maharaj, he was speaking from the first chapter of Adi Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita concerning the spiritual master. So I've been asked to speak about the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with his childhood pastimes. So I'm going to make an attempt to describe these pastimes. It's actually a very difficult task because the activities of the Lord are only understood by very pure-hearted souls. But still, Vrindavan Das Thakur and Krishna Das Kaviraj, they have kindly described the pastimes of the Lord in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So with the help of the information which is given there, then I'm going to present some of the facts which have been recounted for us. Actually, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote, he was guided with the help of the diaries of Shivananda Sen, Murari Gupta and Swarup Damodar. Murari Gupta had witnessed all of the childhood pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was such an intelligent person that he had the foresight to make notes and to keep a diary of the different events which took place concerning Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then of course later on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Mayapur and he went to Jagannath Puri, and there Swarup Damodar was his secretary, and Swarup Damodar also kept notes on the later pastimes. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita we have 3 sections. We have Adi Lila, Madhya Lila and Ancha Lila. Adi Lila describes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in householder life. So the first 24 years Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in householder life. And then he took sannyas. So the Madhya Lila describes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities in traveling around South India particularly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he took sannyas, he did go to Jagannath Puri, but he didn't stay very long. And he left to travel around India, and particularly South India. And he spent some six years traveling around India, and then he came back to Jagannath Puri. So the final 18 years of his advent in this world were passed in Jagannath Puri. And those pastimes in Jagannath Puri, that is the Ancha Lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So those of you who are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll be familiar with all of this. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had said that in the future people would learn Bengali just to understand the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's such a wonderful literature. And Srila Prabhupada also describes it as the postgraduate study of the science of Krishna consciousness. We have the Bhagavad Gita, which is our introduction, and then the Srimad Bhagavatam is like graduate study, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, postgraduate study, because it's describing the most elevated topics of devotional service. It's also revealing to us the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said, when Lord Krishna appeared, he brought with him a storehouse of love of God, but the contents were kept sealed. But then 500 years ago, Lord Krishna came again in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came along with his associates, the Panchatattva, and they broke open that storehouse of love of God, and they plundered the contents and distributed it to everyone without discrimination. And we're told that there was no scarcity in distributing the contents of love of God. Sometimes we may be thinking, oh, I don't want to share what I've got. I've got this mercy, I don't want to share it with anyone. But we learn from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and his associates that the more you distribute the mercy, the more you get the mercy. So that is the principle of Krishna consciousness. We want to distribute this message of Krishna. As Srila Prabhupada would often reply to people, when he went to the Western world, people would ask him, have you just simply come to the West only to get money to beg from us and to take your money back to India to build a temple? And Srila Prabhupada would tell them, I have not come to beg, I have come to give. This is Krishna consciousness. It is not begging, but it's giving. And you can see we are trying to present this mood in all of our temples of ISKCON around the world, that we invite people to come, and we invite people come and hear and chant, come and take prasadam, come and learn, and everything is being given freely. So this is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributing freely to everyone without discrimination. Young men, old men, women, and children, black and white and yellow and red, whatever color of cloth or skin, for everyone without discrimination. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message is so munificent that he gives it even to the animals. Even to the animals we also want to give the mercy. It is said, even the dogs don't go hungry. You can see there's dogs around here in Mayapur, and they're not going hungry. They get prasadam somehow. And when we go on parikrama also, then there's also distribution of prasadam, and the dogs know also they're going to get prasadam too. So this is the mood of Krishna consciousness. So before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we saw that there was first of all the appearance of some great personalities who come to assist in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, there was first of all the appearance of very great personalities like Madhavendra Puri and Ishwara Puri and Advaita Acharya, Jagannath Mishra, Sachimata, Srivas Pandit, these kind of people, Pundarik, Vijayanidhi, people like that, they all came before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like before Lord Krishna comes, first of all, different personalities also came into the world to make arrangements for the appearance of the Lord. So similarly, before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of these great personalities advented into the world. And it was Sri Advaita Acharya who took on the role to personally call for the Lord to come into this world. Advaita Acharya had his residence. He had two residences. One is just down the road at the Yoga Pith, not far away from the Yoga Pith. And his other more prominent residence was at Shantipur, which is not very far away here from Mayapur. And so Shantipur was the residence of Advaita. And in the times of Advaita Acharya, at that time, the Ganga was flowing very near to his home. So Advaita Acharya is a very great personality, very magnanimous. He is actually considered to be the incarnation of Mahavishnu, or sometimes we will say Sadha Shiva. But although Advaita Acharya was such a great soul, when he looked at the condition of the people in the country, he thought, how can they ever be delivered? They're all so fallen. They're worshipping so many gods and goddesses for material benefit. They have not understood the value of the human life. They do not know what is pure devotion, and they do not know who is the Supreme Lord over everyone. Advaita Acharya saw that the people were addicted to so many sinful activities. He thought, how can they ever be delivered? although Advaita was such a great soul himself, he considered that I cannot deliver them. I'm not able to deliver them myself. The Supreme Lord himself will have to come. And he thought how to invite the Lord to come. And then he studied scriptures and he realized that by offering Ganga water along with some tulsi leaves to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna becomes very pleased with that devotee. So in this way, Advaita Acharya took up the work. He was worshipping Lord Krishna and offering Ganga water and tulsi leaves at the lotus feet of the Lord. And at the same time, he was calling out to him, please, please come. Right? You have to call. Do you want Krishna to come? All of you, you also have to call. Call out. Oh, I don't think he'll come. If that's the best you can do, he'll never come. No. The Lord said he was sleeping in the spiritual world, but he heard the loud calling of Advaita Acharya, and he was calling him, please come, please come. A bit better. You're doing better. You're trying. Thank you. So anyway, that was Advaita Acharya's mood, that he really, really called. Remember His Holiness Satchidananda Swami, when he does kirtan, he will plead with us that when you chant, chant from the heart. From the heart. Let it be from the heart. So the same way, Advaita Acharya, he called from the heart to the Lord that you please come. And in this way, it is said, Advaita Acharya, he got the attention of the Lord. And it was the cause of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it was not clear to Advaita that the Lord had come. Advaita was not sure. He didn't know, has he actually come? Is he going to come? Advaita was worshipping and he was calling, but he didn't know, is he actually going to respond to my pleas? So it happened that near to Advaita Acharya's house, here in Mayapur, near to his second house, was the residence of Jagannath Mishra. And Jagannath Mishra was married to a woman called Sachimata. Jagannath Mishra was the son of Upendra Mishra. And he had come from Srihata, which is some distance away from Mayapur. But he had come from Srihata to reside in Navadvip at the residence of Nilambar Chakravarti. Nilambar Chakravarti was a very learned astrologer and pandit. So Jagannath Mishra came to get some education from Nilambar Chakravarti. And it was at that time Jagannath Mishra met Sachimata. Sachimata was the daughter of Nilambar Chakravarti. Those of you who go out on parikrama, you'll know when we go to Belpakor, we go to see the deity of Madan Gopal. And that deity of Madan Gopal at Belpakor, it is said that is the family deity of Nilambar Chakravarti. And the descendants of Nilambar Chakravarti, they continue the worship of the deity today. And actually the devotee who is worshipping the deity, he is the initiated disciple of Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And he is in this way, he's a descendant of Nilambar Chakravarti, and they're worshipping this deity of Madan Gopal since so many hundreds of years. So Jagannath Mishra married the daughter of Nilambar Chakravarti. Her name was Sachimata, and the couple were living there in Mayapur, not far away from where we are today, just down the road. And naturally, they wanted to have a child. But time after time, Sachimata she gave birth to a daughter, but the daughter would die at birth. Just immediately after the birth of the child would die. And this happened, it said, Sachimata, in this way, she gave birth 8 times, one after another. Each child died just after birth. However, after the 8th attempt, somehow the next child was born, and he was a son. And that child was called Vishwarup. And that Vishwarup is the expansion of Lord Balaram. So he was the eldest son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. Later on, that Vishwarup would leave home. He heard how his mother and father were arranging for his marriage, and he was not inclined to married life. So he decided to go away from home, and he left home and took sannyas, never to return. So that was the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later on, we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took sannyas, and at one point he left home going to South India, and he told the devotees, I want to go and find my brother. I want to go and look for my brother. And eventually he went to Pandalpur, and he heard how his brother Vishwarupa had left the body. He'd taken sannyas and was given the name Shankaranya, and he took sannyas. He was in Pandalpur, and he gave up, he left to go back to the spiritual world in Pandalpur. So that was the elder brother, the eldest son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. But Sachimata, after giving birth to Vishwarup, then she had another son. And this son, of course, this is going to become Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sachimata actually conceived the Lord. It was in the month of Magh, in the year 1485. 1485 was when she conceived the child in her womb. And she carried the child in her womb for some 14 months. Now usually when the woman conceives a child, she will give birth within 10 months. After, 10 months, that's as long. I mean, sometimes you hear women giving birth much earlier, prematurely. But we never hear of anybody giving birth after 10 months. But Sachimata, in those days, there was no cesarean. There was none of these drugs to induce delivery and so on. Everything was done naturally. So Sachimata, she carried the child in her womb for some 14 months. And the family were worried that such a long time she has not given birth yet. What is wrong? However, her father, Nilambar Chakravarti, we said he was an astrologer. So he looked at the stars, and then he saw that, very soon there's going to come a very auspicious constellation. In the very near future, there's going to be a very auspicious time to take birth. All of the planets will be in a very auspicious position. And this child who is in her womb, this child must be waiting for that auspicious time to take birth. So this was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he waited for that very auspicious time. And that's why he was in the womb for 14 months. And it was then that, so she conceived in the month of Magh, which is like January, February, and she actually gave birth in the month of Falgun, which is when Gaur Purnima is, Holi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ke! So it was on this auspicious Holi, on this day of Holi, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his advent into the world. And the day in which he appeared, it was not just the regular Holi, but it was a very auspicious day, because at that time there was a lunar eclipse. Now, when there's a lunar eclipse, the custom is that all the Hindu people will go and bathe in the Ganga and chant the holy name, Hare Krishna! We actually had one Gaur Purnima festival. It was many years ago now. It must have been like more than 30 years ago. We had the Gaur Purnima here, and there was a lunar eclipse in the evening on the Gaur Purnima day. And all the devotees from the temple, we all went to the Ganga and we all took our bath. And we were all chanting Hare Krishna for the time of the eclipse. So similarly, more than 500 years ago, 1486, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his appearance in this world in the month of Falgun, on the holy day, on the auspicious day of Purnima. And at that time, all the devotees were chanting the holy name. They were all joyful. And even the Mohammedan people, they were also chanting the holy name, because they were mimicking the Hindus. You know, when we chant, the Mohammedan people often mimic, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They like to mimic us, they laugh about us, but they also chant. So this was the auspicious time in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented in this world, at the time when everyone was chanting the holy name. So this was like the sign, an indication of what Mahaprabhu, this child, is going to do in the future. Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, with the birth of the child, he drew up the chart of the child, and he could understand that certainly this child is going to be a very great personality and perform many wonderful activities. Of course, he could not exactly predict exactly what he's going to do, but he could understand from the chart that certainly he's a very, very great personality. And if you look in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can see that in one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada has given us the astrological chart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just simply from the chart, from looking at the positions of the planets and the stars, then it's very clear that this personality is actually Swayam Bhagavan, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. that no other person could take birth at such a particular time, in such a place, other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his birth here in Mayapur on this auspicious day of Purnima, the holy day, and he was born under a neem tree. So he was given the name Nimai, because Sachi Mata had already lost 8 children previously, so that the ladies were worried that maybe she will lose this child also. So we want to protect this child. So we'll give him the name Nimai, because the neem tree is antiseptic. The neem tree will protect people also from evil spirits, like ghosts and so on. They will not come near the neem tree. So they thought, we will give him the name Nimai, and this will protect him. But then they also wanted to give another, they gave the name Vishwambar, the maintainer of the universe. Based on the astrological conclusions of Nilambar Chakravarti, they gave the name Vishwambar, the maintainer of the universe. So he was given these names, Nimai and Vishwambar. And then the ladies, they were seeing when the child was a baby, how whenever he would cry, they would have to chant the holy name. They would chant the holy name, and when they started to chant the holy name, the baby would stop crying and begin to smile and laugh. And so the ladies would enjoy this. The baby would cry, and the ladies would look at each other. Oh, we better chant again. We want to stop this baby crying. And then the ladies would all begin kirtan again. Immediately Nimai would be smiling and laughing. And the ladies would all laugh at each other. Oh, this child is very naughty. So in this way, the ladies also called the child as Gauranga, Nimai, Vishwambar, and they were enjoying his childhood activities. And so from the beginning of his life, there was chanting of the holy name. Even as a baby, he was chanting the holy name. Later on, when he grew up, even after his marriage, Chaitanya Charitamrita describes how at one point he had gone off to East Bengal. We're here in West Bengal, but East Bengal, of course, in the times of Mahaprabhu, it was all Bengal, but still there was West and East. There was no border as such, but there's still West and East. So Mahaprabhu would go over to what is now Bangladesh to do some teaching and preaching and to earn something for maintaining the family. Because he married and he has an elderly mother, so he has to maintain his family. So he went to travel and teach. But when he went to travel into Bangladesh there in East Bengal, he didn't just only speak philosophy, but he also taught the Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy names. And Srila Prabhupada explains, he said, this is the work of the preacher. That preaching is not just for only speaking philosophy and debating with scholars. That's all right, you can do that. But what is really essential in preaching is to establish the Sankirtan movement. And we want to also teach people the importance of the chanting of the holy name and have nice kirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even while he was in family life and going to East Bengal, he was doing Sankirtan and having people chant the holy name. it's described, it was at that time, while he was in East Bengal, he met with Tapana Mishra. Tapana Mishra was a learned scholar. He'd been reading lots of books, but he could not understand what is the aim of life. And now there are many people like that. And Srila Prabhupada also writes in his purports, he said, you'll find many people, they have many books, and they've hardly read any of them. Yeah, they have, oh, I have all the books. Have you read them? Oh, well, I'm going to read them one day. But when? We don't know. So Tapana Mishra was a bit in that condition. He was a learned person, he'd studied a lot, but he did not know what is the goal of life. And somehow he had a dream, and in his dream he was told to approach Nimai Pandit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at the time as a young man, as a teacher, he was known as Nimai Pandit. And Tapana Mishra came to him, because in his dream he'd been told, you should go to this Nimai Pandit, that he's a great personality, he can guide you. So he came to see Nimai Pandit. Now Nimai Pandit was just a teenager at this time. You have to understand the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He became a teacher when he was 11 years old. Do you know any teachers who are 11 years old? It's not very common. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He studied everything, and he learned everything, and he opened his own school, became a teacher. And he had hundreds of students. Many, many students came to him. So he went to East Bengal. Tapana Mishra came to him and surrendered to him while he was still a young man. Tapana Mishra was older. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Tapana Mishra that you should go to Varanasi. In the future, I will come there. That is an indication that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that in the future he is going to take sannyas and go there to Varanasi. Otherwise, why would he tell Tapana Mishra, you go to Varanasi, I will come there? Mahaprabhu knew that, now usually, he's a householder, he's a teacher, he wouldn't go to Varanasi to teach. He wouldn't go there. But as a sannyasi, he could go there. So he told Tapana Mishra, you go there, I'll meet you there. And he did. Tapana Mishra had so much faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that when Mahaprabhu told him that, he left everything in East Bengal and he went all the way to Varanasi. And he stayed in Varanasi until Mahaprabhu came there. And of course, the son of Tapana Mishra was Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He became one of the Goswamis, surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a young child, performed many wonderful activities in the home of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. Just like Lord Krishna's childhood is divided into 3 stages. You have the Bala, you have the Poganda, and then you have the not Yovana, but Kaishor. Yeah, Kaishor. Kishore. So Mahaprabhu's Lila is also like that. After Kishore, then it's Yovana, youth. Kishore is young boy, like 10 to 15. And Bala is first 5 years, and Poganda is 5 to 10, and then 11 to 15 is Kishore, and after that, Yovana. So Mahaprabhu, like his Leela is like that. You have his Bala Leela, first 5 years as a child in the home of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. And there's some interesting pastimes took place at that time. One particular pastime was when a Brahmana came there to the home of Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra to stay there. Somehow Jagannath Mishra had invited the Brahmana to come. The Vedic culture was like that people would bring Brahmanas, mendicants. If they saw some mendicant, they would invite them, come to my home and take your meals. They will feel blessed to be able to feed someone, to give food to a Brahmana. People would feel very happy to do this service. Today it's not so common, but in the past it was very much the culture. So Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra, they brought this Brahmana to their home, and the Brahmana had his deity, and he said, I have to cook for my deity. I cook myself for my deity, and then I have to offer to the deity. So Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra said, very good, no problem. We will make all arrangements. We will provide everything you need. You can cook for your deity. That's a nice thing to do. Brahmanas, some Brahmanas, they do that, like to cook for themselves. Sometimes you will see all the Brahmanas, they each cooking, like 10, 20 Brahmanas all sitting, and each one has a little fire, and each one is cooking. They all like to cook for themselves, rather than to take the food cooked by others. They will cook for themselves. So this Brahmana, he had a habit to cook for his Gopal deity. So Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata provided everything for his cooking, and he cooked, and then he got ready to offer, and he sat down to chant the mantra to invite the Lord to eat. And as he was chanting the mantra, suddenly Nimai appeared. And at this time Nimai is just a toddler, he's just crawling. But he came there and he crawled and he began to eat the food which the Brahmana was offering to the deity. So when Nimai began to eat the food, then the Brahmana saw that, oh no, oh this child, he has ruined my offering. Oh no! And Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, they came running and they saw Nimai standing there eating. And they said, oh, we're so sorry. Our child has ruined your offering. Oh, Nimai, you shouldn't. Oh, Nimai, you're very naughty. Oh, they chastised the child, and they pleaded with the Brahmana that we're so sorry this has happened. Would you be willing to cook again? So the Brahmana thought, well, all right, I guess I'll have to cook again. So then they brought more provisions, and again the Brahmana began to cook. And he cooked and cooked and got everything ready, and again he's making the offering, and again when he's chanting the mantra, calling the Lord to come and eat, again Nimai appears and begins to eat. And the Brahmana is just, oh no, not again. Oh, this child is too much. Oh, he's ruined my offering again. And Jagannath Mishra and Mother Sachi come running. Oh, and they see what's happened and they apologize. Oh, we're so sorry. Our child is giving you so, oh, how Nimai, how you could do this. Oh, it's not good. The Brahmanas will curse us that we brought him to our house to eat. So then the Brahmana they thought what to do. The Brahmana thought, maybe I'm supposed to fast today. Maybe the Lord doesn't want me to eat. But Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they pleaded and pleaded with him, you please cook. We will put Nimai to sleep. It's getting dark now. Night is already coming. If you cook again, just wait a little longer. Nimai is going to sleep, and when we sleep, then you can cook. That time you'll cook. Nobody will disturb you. So the Brahmana thought, well, all right. He waited, and everything became very quiet, became dark. Everyone was asleep. And so the Brahmana again began to cook. And again it's cooking. And after the cooking, then again he makes the offering. And again, when he makes the offering and invites the Lord to come and eat, he looks up, and to his amazement, there is Nimai eating the offering again. And this time, Nimai came forward and spoke to the Brahmana and said to him, what are you worried about? You're calling me to eat. Why are you objecting? You're calling me, you're chanting the mantra, you're calling me to eat. Why are you complaining? And Nimai told the Brahmana, you should know that previously I was the son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. And at that time you were also a Brahmana, and you came as a guest to their home. And we had the same activity, the same pastime took place there in their home. And so Nimai then also told the Brahmana that don't tell anyone about this, just keep this very confidential. You don't want to tell anyone about this. This is not for everyone to know, but I'm telling you just to pacify your mind. So we may wonder if Nimai told the Brahmana, don't tell anyone, how did this pastime come to be recorded in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? How did Krishnadas Kaviraj know? How could he know it took place? Because Nimai said, don't tell anyone. So how did Krishnadas Kaviraj know about it? You should understand Krishnadas Kaviraj is also enlightened by the grace of the Lord, that these pastimes are revealed to the pure devotees by the grace of the Lord. Just like Vrindavandas Thakur, he also describes the same pastime in more detail than it's described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Vrindavandas Thakur is Vyasadeva. He's the Vyasadeva of Chaitanya Lila. And so Srila Vyasadeva knows everything about Krishna, and he can record it all in the pastimes. So similarly, this Krishnadas Kaviraj, he has also described this pastime, revealing the activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a young child. Another interesting pastime which took place when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was still a young child was he sat on the pots, the different pots which are used for cooking. Just like at Jagannath Puri today, wherever they cook, they always cook in earthen pots. They won't cook in the same pot again. They use earthen pots, and then they'll have a new earthen pot. And the pot will be taken and given to the devotees. They can relish the prasadam. So, in the times of Mahaprabhu, all these earthen pots would be there outside the home. There would be like a pit where they would put the used pots, whatever left over after cooking, and the pots would be thrown away into a pit. So at one point, somehow, Nimai went and sat on the pit. He sat in the pit on these pots. The Sachimata asked him, "What are you doing there? You're the son of a Brahmana. You'll get contaminated in that place." Lord Chaitanya said, "Contamination?" He said, "What's the difference?" He said, "It's all Krishna's energy. It's all the energy of the Lord. Why is there any difference? There's no difference. It's all one. It's all one. It's all the same." He said, we eat food. The food is a transformation of the earth. And the pots, they're also a transformation of the earth. So what is the difference if I eat the pot, or if I eat the earth, or if I eat your sweets? And Sachimata looked at him, and she was shocked to hear her son speak this Mayavada philosophy. But Sachimata herself, being a great devotee, she could defeat this argument of her son. And she said to Nimai, she said that, "Look here, when we have the pot, when we have the earth in the form of a pot, we can use it to store water." She said, "If I just have a lump of earth, I pour water on a lump of earth, the water won't be stored, it will just run away, it will just run everywhere. But when the earth is made into the form of a pot, then it can be used to store water." In the same way, if you eat earth, you will not be healthy. You will get disease. You will get sick. But if you eat food, your body will be nourished and you will be healthy. So when Nimai heard this philosophy from his mother, he was convinced. And he said to his mother, he said, "Why didn't you tell me this philosophy before?" He said, "I'm never going to eat earth again after hearing this. From now on, I'm just going to drink the milk from your breasts. That's the best food for me." In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing his pastimes with Mother Sachi. He wanted to reveal to all of us the glory of the Krishna conscious philosophy. We don't want to eat earth. It's not all one, right? There is a difference. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's doctrine, of course. Achintya Bed Abeda Tattva. Everything is simultaneously one and different, inconceivably. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propagated this philosophy, this doctrine, to everyone. And even in his childhood, he was teaching this to his own parents by his different pastimes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the age of 5, then his education was going on, and he was immediately learning everything. Everything which was taught to him, he could immediately master without any difficulty. He could learn all the rules of grammar. He learned everything very nicely. And therefore, by the age of 11, he was ready to become a teacher himself. And he opened his own school. So being a teacher, he would meet with many people. And one of the persons who he met, the important pastimes which took place in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was when Keshava Kashmiri came there to Navadvip. That Keshava Kashmiri came into Navadvip declaring himself as Digvijay, the conqueror of everywhere. He claimed that he could defeat everyone. He defeated everyone. And indeed, when he came to Navadvip, All of the other Pandits, they all ran away. They didn't want to be there because they knew if they had to meet with Keshava Kashmiri, they would easily be defeated by him. And once they're defeated, then they no longer have any credit as a teacher, and they will not be able to attract any students. So many of the Pandits, they all closed their schools and they disappeared. They said, oh, I have to go home, I have to go and see my family, I have some urgent work. Actually, they were all just avoiding meeting with Keshava Kashmiri. But Nimai Pandit was there, and he was not running away, he was not afraid of anyone. He was sitting on the bank of the Ganga with all of his students, and he was teaching. And it was in that condition, he was sitting teaching, when Keshava Kashmiri came along the bank of the Ganga. And Keshava Kashmiri came in a big procession with many followers, and he was riding on a big elephant. So he was really, putting on a big show, and people were really afraid, and they were really, he was attracting a lot of attention, and he thought, he was known to be a great devotee of Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Now Mother Saraswati is worshipped by students today, not only students, dramatic arts, people who are in acting or musicians and so on, they will worship Mother Saraswati to get her blessings. So Keshava Kashmiri, he was a great devotee of the goddess Saraswati, and he would do Saraswati puja every day, and he was depending on goddess Saraswati's blessings in his debates. And up until he met Nimai Pandit, he had always been victorious. But when he came into Navadvip, he met Nimai Pandit, and somehow he had heard that, oh, you're Nimai Pandit. Oh, I've heard about you. Yeah, you were a logician. You know you know Nyaya, you know logic. And in this way, Keshava Kashmiri opened up conversation with Nimai Pandit, and he wanted to debate with Nimai Pandit. But Nimai Pandit requested this Keshava Kashmiri that, would you like to compose some poetry in glorification of Mother Ganga? So at the request of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Keshava Kashmiri then began to recite verses. And it's described that he recited verses just like the blowing wind. He could recite poetry, he could make up a verse, a poetic verse, just like the wind, very easily, very quickly. And in this way he composed many verses glorifying Mother Ganga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to his poetry and said, oh yes, you're very learned, you have a lot of ability. He said, you've done very nicely, you've composed many poems, but there's some faults in your poetry also. There are some good things, good qualities, some embellishments are there, but there's some faults as well. Are you aware of that? Do you know there's some faults in your poetry? And Keshava Kashmiri was shocked, because he thought, in my poetry there can be no fault. There's never any fault in my poetry. But Nimai Pandit said, well, look at this verse. And Nimai Pandit then quoted a verse from which Keshava Kashmiri had recited. Nimai Pandit recited it, and he said, within this verse there are some good qualities, but there's also faults. There are 5 faults. So Keshava Kashmiri was completely astounded. He had never heard anybody ever criticize any of his poetry or any of his statements. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, look at this verse. And Mahaprabhu recited the verse. So Keshava Kashmiri was surprised. He said, I recited those verses like the blowing wind. How could you memorize this verse? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said to him, he said, well, just like you had the ability to recite so many verses, somehow I have the ability to remember verses. And I've remembered this verse which you've recited, and I found faults in it. There are faults in it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went on to list the different faults, the faults which were there within the verse, how there was some repetition and redundancy, and there was some rasabasa, different mistakes were made in the verse. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, but there's also good qualities there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went on to describe the good qualities in the verse. So Keshava Kashmiri was just listening to Nimai speak, and he was just totally devastated. He'd never been defeated like this. And all the students of Nimai Pandit, they were laughing. And they were laughing at Keshava Kashmiri. They were thinking, see, our teacher defeated you. You thought you were Digvijay, but our teachers defeated you. You're nothing in front of our teacher. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then corrected his students, and he told them, no, don't laugh. Don't laugh. He is a learned person. He's a very great personality. He's a learned scholar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he defeated Keshava Kashmiri, he was very respectful to him. So that night, Keshava Kashmiri worshipped Mother Saraswati, and he requested Mother Saraswati that, have I offended you? Did I do something wrong to offend you? You let this young boy defeat me. I was supposed to be the big champion, and this young boy has defeated me. He humiliated me. Have I made some offense against you, Mother Saraswati, that you did not allow me to display my full intelligence against this young boy? But Mother Saraswati then spoke to Keshava Kashmiri and told him, you should understand that this young boy is no ordinary young man, but he is my Lord and Master. And he is my worshipful Lord. So when Keshava Kashmiri heard this from Goddess Saraswati, then he understood the identity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came the next morning, and he fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he surrendered to him. Later on, he went on also to become a Vaishnava. So this is one of the important pastimes which took place during the childhood of Mahaprabhu. While he is still a young man, he defeated this Keshava Kashmiri, who was supposed to be Digvijay, the conqueror of everyone, everywhere. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many wonderful pastimes at home. One of the things which happened was, he told his mother, my dear mother, on Ekadasi, do not eat any grains. That's an interesting instruction which came from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is also, of course, an instruction which we follow in our Krishna consciousness movement today. It's stated in the scriptures that you should not eat grains on the Ekadasi day. And it said, one who eats grains on the Ekadasi day, then he is the killer of his spiritual teacher. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested his mother not to eat grains. This means that before he gave this instruction, his mother was already eating grains. His mother was in the habit of eating grains. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested her, please do not eat grains on Ekadasi day. And from that day on, Sachi Mata would never eat grains again on Ekadasi day. However, there's another pastime which took place when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a child. While he's still in the Bala Leela, at that time he took the pastime of being sick. And in his sickness, he requested his father, bring me the prasad. I want the Vishnu prasad. And this was on Ekadasi day. On the Ekadasi day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a young child, he was crying to get the prasadam of Lord Vishnu. There were two devotees whose home was not very far away from the home of Jagannath Mishra. One was Jagadish and the other was Hiranya, two brothers. And they were worshipping the deity. Now when we worship the deity of Lord Vishnu, we offer grains on Ekadasi. Lord Vishnu, he doesn't have to observe Ekadasi. Lord Vishnu can eat grains on Ekadasi day. And similarly, Gaur and Nitai, they're Vishnu Tattva. So you may be worshipping Gaur and Nitai. They also can eat grains on the Ekadasi day. We offer grains to the deities on Ekadasi. So Lord Chaitanya was a young child, and he was crying, and he was pretending to be sick, and he was demanding from his mother and father that I want the prasad from Jagadish and Haranya. I want their Vishnu prasad. So Jagannath Mishra had to go to the home. Jagannath Mishra went to the home of Jagadish and Haranya and requested them, could you kindly give the prasad for my son? My son wants Vishnu prasadam on the Ekadasi day. So it was Ekadasi. So Jagadish and Haranya, they laughed. They thought, oh, this child is very clever. He wants Ekadasi prasad. He wants the prasadam on Ekadasi. He's taking the Vishnu prasad. Usually, we will cook for the deity, and we can give that Vishnu prasadam, we can give it to people who are not devotees. But those people who are devotees, they won't eat grains on the Ekadasi day. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this pastime. He took the grains on the Ekadasi day, just for a lila, pastime with his father and mother, playing some trick with them. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata were always puzzled about the identity of their child. Sometimes they would hear ankle bells, but there were no ankle bells on the ankles of Lord Chaitanya. On their child, he didn't have ankle bracelets, but they could hear the ankle bells. They were puzzled. And then sometimes they would see also the lotus footprints. On the footprints of the child, they'd see all the different auspicious markings which are there on the soul of the Supreme Lord. The different markings which are on the feet, like the fish and the thunderbolt and the instrument for herding elephants, and the lotus flower. All of these different markings are there on the soul of the personality of Godhead. And Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, they could see all of these things. They could see these things. Where did these footprints come from? What are these footprints? Where are they from? In this way they were puzzled. They could not think of their child as being God. They could only think of their child as being their son. Even though he performed so many divine pastimes, they could only think of him as their child. Nimai Pandit would do many mischievous things. As he grew up to be a young boy, he became more and more mischievous. Those of you who have children, who bring up children, you know that, right? When the child's just young, you can hold them in your arms, but once they start crawling and moving around, they become more and more mischievous. So Nimai became very mischievous. And as he grew up, one of the things which he did was he teased the young girls. The young girls were all coming to the Ganga to bathe, and they would bring different sweetmeats and flowers and sandalwood to offer to devas. When they would come after taking their bath, they'd do their puja. So Nimai would come to that place and he would see the girls bringing all their sweetmeats and things, and he would approach them and he would say to them, "You should offer these things to me. You should worship me. Don't you know? All the goddesses, Mother Saraswati and Lakshmi, they worship me. Even Lord Shiva worships me. You should also worship me." So the girls would look at Nimai and they would just laugh at it. They think, "Come on, we're not going to worship you." They didn't take him very seriously. But then Nimai began to speak to the girls and he said, "If you worship me, then I will bless you that you will have a good husband who has a lot of wealth. And from your husband, you will have many sons. And your sons will all be intelligent and handsome like your husband. I will give you this blessing." But the girls, some of them ran away. And when they ran away, Nimai Pandit said to them, "If you run away from me, then I will curse you, that you will get a husband who has 4 co-wives. And I will curse you that you will have to live with this husband who is nasty and irritable and always complains to you. It does not satisfy you. And he has 4 co-wives also. You will have to live in that atmosphere." And so in this way, when the girls heard this, then he thought, maybe this Nimai has got mystic powers. We better be careful. We better do what he said. And in this way they came and they began to worship Nimai. So sometimes Nimai would go and bathe in the Ganga and people would be bathing. Sometimes people would be chanting their mantras and meditating. Nimai would come and splash water on them. Sometimes he would come and he'd dive under and grab their feet and pull their feet so that they would fall in the water. So people would sometimes complain about Nimai. They said, "This son of yours, he's so mischievous, he's so naughty, he gives us so much trouble. Can't you do something about him?" So they got so many complaints that Jagannath Mishra would complain to his son and tell his son, "You know, Nimai, you have to behave properly. Be a good boy. You're supposed to be the son of a Brahmana. You should behave properly. Don't offend people. Don't make people angry." And Jagannath Mishra would get quite angry at him and chastise his son. And he would chastise him so much that sometimes Jagannath Mishra would have a dream. And in his dream, a Brahmana would come. And the Brahmana would say to Jagannath Mishra, he would say, "Jagannath Mishra, you better be more careful how you speak to your son." You should not talk to him so harshly. Don't chastise him so much. Don't be so harsh on him. You don't know who he is. He's not an ordinary person. And Jagannath Mishra would, in this dream, Jagannath Mishra would argue with the Brahmana and say, well, look, I'm his father. He said, even he may not be an ordinary person, but I'm his father. It's my duty to correct him. So this is the mood which Jagannath Mishra had with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could only think of Mahaprabhu as his child, as his son. He could not think of him as God. Just like Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Their mood of Vatsalya Ras is so deep and so intense. They can only see Krishna as their child. They cannot think of him as God. Even when he picks up the Govardhan hill, Mother Yashoda thinks, oh, my son, he couldn't do it. It must be my husband who's doing it. And so the same way Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they simply had that same mood as Nanda and Yashoda. They simply saw Mahaprabhu as their child, and they were filled with this parental affection for him. So this is the nature of the childhood Leela. So we'll stop here. We'll ask if there are any questions. Any question, any comment, anyone?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble, respectful obeisances. Thanks for the nectarian pastimes, the childhood pastimes of Mahaprabhu. You were talking about the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the prayers of Srila Advaita Acharya. My question is on the confidential reasons of his appearance, where in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's mentioned that Lord appeared for two reasons. One is to enjoy the mellows and the other is to propagate the devotional service. So on enjoying the mellows, there are various preachers whom I have come across in our movement who say that the Lord doesn't know the mellows, what Radharani enjoyed, and that's why he came to enjoy the mellows. But we also see that there are 6 opulences in which the Lord is full, which is explained by Srila Parasara Muni. So without the knowledge, the Lord is fully knowledgeable. So my question is, how come the Lord doesn't know? Because Srila Prabhupada very clearly mentioned, I've read all across his lectures where he says he came to enjoy the pastimes. I have 2 questions, Maharaj. This is my first question. Could you please clarify?
Yeah, quite an interesting question you have. Quite an involved question. Mahaprabhu came to enjoy the pastime, to enjoy the mellows. And you're bringing up the point that he wants to experience the mood of Radha. That mood which Srimati Radharani has, which she enjoys in her loving relationship with Lord Krishna. Well, certainly in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it does describe the thinking of the Lord, that it mentions there that the Lord is thinking that Srimati Radharani's pleasure is thousands of times greater than my pleasure. And I want to be, I'm the enjoyer, I'm supposed to be the supreme enjoyer. But we see that Srimati Radharani's pleasure is infinitely many more times greater than my pleasure. So I want to taste that pleasure. So your question is Mahaprabhu enjoying, or is he coming to learn how to enjoy? Well, certainly we do feel, we do see that he desires to cultivate that Radha Bhav. And sometimes I've heard it said that he would regularly associate with Gadadhar Pandit, because in the association of Gadadhar Pandit he could understand more what is the mood of Srimati Radharani. So Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, he has all opulences. So you say that he should know everything, he should know. So we could say that he knows that the pleasure of Radha is greater than his pleasure. So he knows that much, and therefore he's anxious to experience that kind of pleasure which she is having. And that's one reason, that's why he comes.
Thank you, Maharaj. My next question is related to Mahaprabhu being a Shrutidar. He could hear and he could remember everything. But this question is related to currently with the knowledge we have. It's very difficult to remember everything and anything, and particularly people also give this excuse, I'm aging, so my memory is losing. So one constant prayer, even at the time of death, just one prayer, how to remember is my question. About the Lord. Means nothing, one prayer to remember at the time of death. How we can have that memory is my question.
How we can have that memory? Well, we see like Madhavendra Puri at the time of death. Madhavendra Puri was reciting that verse, the famous verse which is the words of Srimati Radharani, E Dina Dayadra Nata He Mathura Nata, no, like that. You know that verse from the Chaitanya? It's stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's that Madhavendra Puri was reciting that verse again and again at the time of death. And he was also helped by Ishwara Puri. Ishwara Puri was his disciple, and Ishwara Puri was with him and serving him and helping him to remember the Lord and the pastimes of the Lord. So good association is important as well. At the time of death, at the end of life, you want to be in the right association. You want to be, we saw Srila Prabhupada at the last moment, he just wanted the holy name. He just wanted the holy name. I had the experience myself. I went to chant with another devotee in Juhu temple. Prabhupada was there just before he went to Vrindavan. The last time he'd come back from the UK, and he was in Juhu, and he was resting there. He wanted us to come and chant. So we were going in twos, and we would sit and chant. So we were chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And at one point, the devotee who I was with, he started to chant Govinda Jai Jai. And immediately Prabhupada opened his eyes. He said, just Hare Krishna. It was one instruction I got from Prabhupada. You know, not really, not me, but the devotee who was with me. But very clear. Prabhupada just wanted Hare Krishna. He didn't even want to hear Govinda Jai Jai. And so that was Srila Prabhupada, the final lesson.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Sorry?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Under the neem tree, Nimai has borrowed. There is, the neem tree is a very bitter taste with antiphagocytic and antibacterial agent. For this reason, there are many lakh trees in the world as antiphagocytic and antibacterial activity. Nimai has born that place. Is it reason? Thank you.
What you said.
We'll just get a translation, I think.
না আপনি কি প্রশ্ন করেছেন না কিছু কি প্রশ্নটা কি
Srinivas Prabhu, yeah?
প্রশ্নটা কি প্রশ্নটা কি কেন জন্মগ্রহণ করেছে Hare Krishna Maharaj. Prabhuji is asking that why Lord Chaitanya appeared under the neem tree.
Why Lord Chaitanya appeared under the neem tree? So he could have the nice name Nimai, right? He's under the neem tree. And so that's how he got a name, the name Nimai.
And one more question.
Nimai, and the neem tree was, we said, was also antiseptic. So, keep away the evil spirits. At the time of giving birth, you don't want evil spirits around. And so the neem tree was there. It was giving shelter and protection from the evil and inauspiciousness.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, here one Prabhu is asking question. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leading kirtan or doing kirtan in Shiva Sangan, what kirtan they used to do? Is it Hare Krishna Mantra or some other?
Well, Prabhupada said this Hare Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshava. He said this was a favorite of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this was one of the kirtans Mahaprabhu was doing. Hare Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudan. Those two lines. Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudan. Later on, Narottam Das Thakur added more lines, but those two lines, that was what Mahaprabhu used to sing. And that was a favorite of Mahaprabhu. That's why Prabhupada said, especially here in Mayapur, we have to sing that when we do kirtan. And every morning, Mangal Arti, they're supposed to sing that.
Okay, Maharaj.
Okay.
Any other question?
Maharaj, the whole pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is based on, as you have said, that there are two diaries of Murari Gupta and
Swarup Damodar.
Swarup Damodar Goswami. So my question is, I also heard that during Bhakti Vinod's time, the copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita was very difficult to find out. Of course, now we are having so many copies of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the point is that is these two diaries, are they available at present? That is my question.
Are the two diaries available? Yes, it must be available somewhere. Copies, I mean something, maybe edited versions or whatever. But without those diaries, those books could not be compiled. So somewhere these diaries must be, some kind of copy must be there. These diaries had been,
Hare Krishna.
The Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavad, they were written after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already left the world. So these diaries, then they came, they were there. So then they must be somewhere. Maybe like you could go to Vrindavan Research Institute there in Vrindavan and see what they have. I think it's mentioned that they are available. Prabhupada mentions in a purport that they are available, these diaries.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, this, I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's childhood, Vishwarup, he left his house and took sannyas later on. What is the role and this influence of Vishwarup on the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Well, there is one pastime mentioned there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita where it said Lord Chaitanya had a dream, and in the dream he met his older brother Vishwarup, and his brother was telling him, come and take sannyas, come with me and take sannyas. But at that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said no. He said, no, I have to take care of the family. I have my elderly mother here. I have to take care of the family. And Mahaprabhu actually told Sachimata about this, that I had a dream, and in the dream my brother was there, but I told him I would stay here. I wanted to stay with the family here and take care of the family. So what influence did Vishwarup have on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Well, I said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did use that excuse to say he was going to look for him, he wanted to find him. He didn't actually find him, they didn't meet again. But we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did follow somehow in the footsteps of his brother. He took sannyas. Then after he took sannyas, when Sachimata came there to Shantipur, and when she saw him as a sannyasi, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to his mother, he said, oh, I did it in the spur of a moment, I did it, spontaneously, I didn't think about it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to his mother, I'll come home with you now if you want, and I'll just come back and be at home. But his mother said, no. And he said, now you've taken sannyas, you must keep that vow. You must keep your vow. He said, if you come home, that will be worse than leaving home. At least you've taken sannyas, that's honorable. But if you come home after taking sannyas, that will be dishonorable. So in this way, Mahaprabhu never gave up his sannyas. So that was one pastime. All right, so it's getting late. We have to stop here now. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful narrations of the Lord's pastimes. So, we all thank by chanting 3 times Haribol to Maharaj. Haribol! Jore! Okay, thank you. তো আপনারা যারা এখানে বসে আছেন, those who are here, for them prasadam coupon will be given at the gate. Please collect that coupon and enjoy the prasadam. And you can inform your friends, devotees, whoever it may be. All are welcome here for this Sravana utsav and enjoy hearing and prasadam, having prasadam. তো আমাদের ভক্তদেরকে আর আপনাদের জানা চেনা ভক্ত বন্ধু সবাইকে বলবেন এই শ্রাবণ উৎসব হচ্ছে, এখন যারা বাইরে যাবেন ও কুপন দেওয়া হচ্ছে, কুপন নিয়ে প্রসাদ গ্রহণ করবেন। হরে কৃষ্ণ, ধন্যবাদ আপনাদেরকে। আচ্ছা, ইভিনিং বিকেলবেলা 5টার সময় শুরু হবে, 5টায় বিকেলবেলা 5টায় শুরু হবে। প্রভুপাদ শিষ্যরা দেবে ক্লাস বিকেলবেলা, 2 জন আছে। So evening we have Prabhupada disciples in the evening session. 5 o'clock bhajan kirtan will start. So please be on time.